What about your friends? Today's episode is all about finding your tribe. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host, the Joy Ignitor, and I am also joined by you yourself, the guest on the couch. Make sure you chime in and have a conversation with me and my two ladies on the side, Britney and Marisol. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Look at this. So don't forget to leave a comment from being on the couch. You are a part of the show, just like everybody else is that you see here on the screen. We're going to get this party started. So, ladies, let me start with Marisol, porque me gusta decir tu nombre. Marisol, why are you passionate about helping people with their tribe using your zone of genius? What's your superpower, girl, and why are you passionate about helping people with it?
Well, it started first as a way of helping people. You're like, okay, I'm going to help people. But the more people you help, you literally do get involved in their passions and their fears and what's going on in their lives. And it creates this purpose-filled life, I guess. And you want to help them out. I mean, there's nothing more exciting than handing someone the first keys of their home, because it is just, most people don't think they can own a home. And when you hand them those keys and you walk them through the process, you create, actually, most of my best friends now are former clients.
I bet you so. So I bet if I had to turn into your values, connection is on one of the top three for you. Like connecting with people, because that's how you are able to help them to buy in their houses. But it sounds like when you connect with somebody, it's sharing a piece of you and you take on a piece of them.
Correct.
Which is also one of my top three, is connecting with people, because I love that commonality you find with somebody, because it makes you know that you're not the only weirdo in the room. You find other weirdos just like you. So I feel you, sis. Yep. Brittany, how about you? What chime in? What is your superpower? Or as we say it here, put the question back up, please, y'all, so I can say it the right way.
Why are you
Brittany can see it again. There you go. Brittany, why are you passionate about helping people with their tribe using your zone of genius?
So one thing that I say all the time is the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And I was actually just having a conversation with one of my clients yesterday who has been not doing so well meeting new friends in a new location that she's been in for 2 years. And I recommended that she go online and meet new people in meetup groups and Facebook groups and things like that. And she was like, that's not a good idea. And I was like, this is actually how I met my friends, on the internet. So I believe that your internal and external environments are always impacting each other. And your external environment includes your friend groups and the people that you have relationships with. And it's very important when you're trying to reach your goals or really just enjoy your life to make sure you're surrounded by people who have the same things in common and who are moving in the same direction as you.
Yeah, of course it is. It's also, what do you think about having people surrounded by you that don't have the same things in common as you do? Because that's, for me, that's another big push. Like, it's one thing to be surrounded by, we all like vanilla ice cream, but when somebody come in here with that chocolate ice cream taste, it's like, well, wait a minute. Maybe they own to something. Maybe I can taste ice cream chocolate too and like it. So what do you think about that? Like, if you surrounded people who don't believe in what you think?
I think that there's always a healthy balance to everything. I also believe 100% that sometimes people validate each other and it doesn't serve you, right? So when everybody thinks the same things, then it doesn't allow for you to really grow and have new experiences. But if it actually, whatever that different perspective is maybe causing some type of negative experience, I like to call that clutter, and we clear clutter. That's what we do.
Like that. Clear that clutter out. Clear the clutter. Nobody like to clutter mind, clutter spirits. I like that because how we externally, how our external is affects our internal. Because you mentioned that too. Because like when the house is a mess and the room is a mess, it's something up here is not clear. But when it's clear on the outside, it helps clear the inside. I totally agree with what you said about that. Moving on to our inspiration. Oh, why am I passionate? I'll answer the question myself. Let me see. Why am I passionate about helping people? I'm passionate about helping people because, like I said before, connection is a big thing for me. And if I get to share some of myself that can help somebody else become a better version of themselves, it just sweetens the pie, as they say, right? Puts the icing on the cake, so to speak. So that's why I like it. It makes me feel good because I help somebody else feel good. Continuing on to our next question or next topic of conversation. Brittany, how has friendship shifts been a problem for you in the past and how did you overcome it? So, when we start something and like the new thing, like everybody's not going to be on board. So when those friends the haters, so to speak, right? When we got to shake them off. How does a problem like that in the past, how'd you overcome that?
The funny thing is that I've always been the type of person that's going to do what I want to do. So I also don't believe that, like a lot of the times the friends that we have when we are younger are just based on our environment, right? The schools that we go to, whoever's friends with our parents. And so once I guess, once we entered the adult world, I was like, listen, this is what I want to do. And I started to put myself in the places where I would be able to do that. I did have a little bit of drama and resentment from some people that I may have been close to at the time, but I don't feel like it actually kind of slowed me down a bit. It was kind of like, all right, I do understand how you feel, but I'm still going in this direction and you can kind of join me if you want to.
Jump in the pool with me if you want to, but if not, that's okay.
Yes. And I think sometimes I think it's very important to understand that people are interpreting things in their own way and it has nothing to do with you. And once I realized that, now I can totally always be very discerning about how I want to engage in the situation. So you're going to think whatever, because that's based on your beliefs and your experiences. And I know whether or not what's true for me. And that's it.
Girl, sounds like you're really walking your truth. That is an epiphany that it took me a while to get to realize that it's a book. I think what other people think about me is none of my business. And when you really realize that nobody cares about you, for me, it was like, about 7-8 years ago. Anyway, I decided to cut all my hair off for the first time. I decided to go bald fade, cut my hair off. And when I was freaking out, to go out in public, oh my God, I cut my hair off. Oh, I look disgusting. When I mean nobody gave a F about my hair, nobody looked at me differently. Nobody treated me differently. Nobody was looking at me, oh, you cut your hair, you bald, you ugly. Nobody. And when I realized that nobody cared about what I looked like, it was like, I've been worrying about bullshit for nothing. So you're right. It's never was my business. But all the time when you feel like other people's perspectives can, control, I thought they controlled my thoughts and my life, let that go, girl. Peace. All of a sudden it's like, what? So you on to something. Marisol, you want to chime in? And
well, yes, the way I see it, we evolve on people, and so will friendships, And as we change, we're going to notice those friendships changing. But nevertheless, like in my case, it's really a good example in what I do. Is let's just say we have a commitment for tonight. I mean, we're going to meet tonight or whatever. But something may come up on my end because the nature of my job, it has to be taken care of, In my case, the best way of discerning those friends is when I have to, unfortunately, reschedule, not because I'm not responsible or because I didn't block that time, but it's part of my job. And if there's something that I have to do, for example, someone needs to come and see this house, there's multiple offers, we need to go run. So that means I need to be flexible and then change my schedule. And that was one of the ways in which I realized that some people were not really my friends because they will get mad or upset because how dare you change the schedule? You don't value me. And it's like, well, you're not valuing me, So that's a way I believe as we evolve, It's just listening to that small voice and those signals. People always give you signals that
They say, what's it say? If they say, if you spot it, you got it.
Yep.
I just heard it today on TV show, which is so cute. So the fact that somebody else, you spotted the fact that people didn't value you and your time because you saw that, maybe thought that you were valuing their time, even though you were.
Yeah.
So I totally get that. Sis. I do. This is a great conversation. Y'all know the people on the couch. I hope y'all chiming in and get these nuggets and writing it down because we are on fire. Staying inspired. Let me see. How did friendship shifts been a problem for me in the past? To continue what you said, Marisol, I never really thought I had friends. I knew a lot of people. I've always known a lot of people. I've got a lot of associates in my life. Even now, there's still few people I would call friends. So as far as how did it affect me and how did I get over it? When I realized that everybody is not truly your friend. When I finally realized that some people are just out there for themselves, regardless of what you do for them and what your intentions are, they just selfish people. So when I realized that people don't care about what I think or do, and that people are really truly can be selfish, it just makes it easier to get over shit because it's like,
yep,
it's one of those two things. Either people are just selfish or I just got to get over it. So yeah, that's the way I handle that. Why is understanding the shifts in your tribe important for professionals to thrive in your life and business? Why is understanding the shifts? Marisol, let's start with you. Why is understanding the shifts?
Well, as you were reading the question, that one thing that came to mind is that they tell us that we are the average of the 5 people we're surrounded with. And I do believe we have to constantly be, at least every few months, or at the least once a year, just make a review of where is it that I'm at, where is it that I want to go, and how are these people helping me get to where I need to be. That doesn't mean, you're never going to talk to some people ever again, but that just means that you're going to keep them on the outer court. And then you're going to get some people in the inner court because you need them as much as they need you, because we cannot do life alone, even if we try. And believe me, I tried.
I've been there, done that. It reminds me of a conversation that Colleen and I had. Funny how we said she was our commonality between the 4 of us. But when Monica was on, anyway, is we were talking about the sphere of influence. And it's been a while since we had it, but like you have these circles, these ring of people in your life, right? You have the community, and then once you realize, oh no, you're kind of more my vibe than just somebody that I know in the same coaching world, right? So you might move them into the sphere of close friends. Then you have close friends. They might get moved into the sphere of almost like family, but not quite family. Then you have you can move people either out of your circle or closer into your circle. And it all depends on what you need and what you all might need together at the time. So just the fact that inner and layers of circles. Correct. That makes sense to develop the tribe that we need to have to make sure that we're our best versions of ourselves too.
Yeah.
What about you, Britney? Chime in that same question.
I can't see the question anymore, but I love what Marisol said about that annual review of relationships. I am like the evaluation queen, so I evaluate everything and everybody. Okay, so as soon as we meet each other, I'm figuring out, all right, is this gonna work out? So I am that person. But also, I guess it's funny that you said, that you've never really had friends, because I guess that was me as well. The friends that I have now, I feel like I intentionally sought out. Like, we were somewhere together and I was like, oh my gosh, like you said, in that circle, like I vibe with this person, like we're in this community, but I actually want to spend time with you outside of this room. And I love that just because of how I decide I want to be and what my priority is. I don't have friends anymore that are kind of like, oh, you're not spending a lot of time with me and this is a problem, and our friendship deteriorates, right? I love that the friends that I do have things that are just as important to them, and they're focused on living their lives, and we can connect and pick up whenever we are ready to.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it when you said intentional about it, because like the people that I do choose to be around now, I choose to be around, and it's because we feed each other either equally or whatever. But when you said something like popped my head about using intentional and choosing friends and seasons, was something. It'll come back to me. It's important to come back. Damn it, I forgot. You just said something. I was like, and I hate to try to like really, the lesson you learn, you listen, but you shouldn't be thinking what you're gonna say next. So I was really listening, and I knew I had something to say, but I was so into what you said, I forgot about it. Forgive me. It'll come back if I need to. But it's something about seasons and friends and choosing who you get to be with and being intentional about it. Oh, I remember now. It's like the kind of friends I have now, the people I can just pick up where we left off, no matter how much time has been in between. That's when I have a true friend. Like it's kind of like, that you can call on them when you need them, and they know they can call on you when they need something. But it's also like, it's been 8 months. You'd be like, girl, what happened with so and so? Like, it's just right. Like, still watching so and so show, girl. Yes, and we did this. That. It's just that kind of friendship. That's the genuine friendships that I've created, because I learned you can create who you're around. You don't have to be friends with everybody just because. So we on a board. We doing some good conversation. This is beautiful. I love it. So, Marisol, who should you ask for help when you're trying to improve your relationships? When you find those relationships maybe not being where you want them to be, who do you ask for help to help you improve it?
Well, I guess it depends on what's the relationship, the type of relationship, and then what is it that I want to. Because the first thing I do is go to the person. The first person, because I don't believe if I have a difference with you, for example, why would I go to Britney? I mean, I need to go to you, because if I'm having an issue with you, you're the person that we need to sit and talk and find out where a disconnect happened. Where did it happen?
Okay, I'm with you. I agree and I disagree. I do agree we should confront each other because we adults, but I also think it depends on the maturity level of the person I'm confronting. Because I might have to go to the person's, extra, their significant other, to be like, okay, I want to talk to this person about this, but I don't want to turn into this. You know them better than I do, kind of thing. Like, maybe not talking behind their back, but just making sure that it doesn't become worse. So, but if you know your tribe, you know your tribe. But so yeah. What about you, Brittany?
The question is a little complex. I always like to say, you really can't control anything or anyone outside of you. And so I always like to first check in with myself, especially if I feel like I have a problem. I have to see if that's really true or if it's how I'm interpreting the situation. Like, somebody forgets your birthday. And you're like, this person doesn't care about me. And now you're upset and you don't want to talk to the person. But like you said earlier, people are not thinking about you. And so sometimes you may think something's up with the relationship just because of how you're feeling. So I always think it's normally me. I'm like, what's the problem? Probably me. Because I can change. I can either decide I want it to be different and then try to work with the person, or I can say I'm tripping, right? And figure out what's going on with me. Or I can just decide this isn't even a thing, right? It is what it is. And from that awareness, that's where I always like to start.
I like that. Like what Marisol said, you can check in, but check in with you first, and then check into the person you may have an issue with.
Yeah.
We all send dropping some nuggets. This is good. People on the couch, I hope y'all paying attention. Ain't nobody chimed in just yet, but I know y'all gonna get this later.
And I want to add to that a little bit. I feel like if you're going to check in with the other person, you really kind of want to know what the result that you want, like what you want the outcome to be, and communicate that up front. And you guys have that. Because then that's probably how you can keep it from going left if it is the person.
Set the intention. You set the intention ahead of time. But like, it's my intention is to be able to have a conversation without us getting up, without raising our voices. Or my intention is to share how I feel with this about this without you getting upset. Like whatever. That is true.
Not even that. Because they also make them upset, right? Maybe what your end goal of the intention is, like, I really want us to stay friends. This is why I'm having this conversation. And so then you guys can come to the table and she's like, listen, I still want to be friends too. All right, now we can talk.
I like that. Yeah. Begin. What did I say? Begin with the end in mind?
Yes, absolutely.
I like it. I like that. Good stuff. What, Marisol? What is one tip for calibrating your life by focusing on your tribe?
That's a good one. The first thing is you have to calibrate yourself,
Okay.
because you cannot give anybody what you don't have in you. So I do believe that if I am in a good state of mind, if my life is in balance, my relationships will be in balance. So it is, it's like who came before the chicken and the hen. I know it sounds crazy, but it's something that it keeps on giving, because it's like a circle and it keeps on going and going and going. I do believe that is, I need to check in me what's going on, and then go to my tribe, you know.
Yeah. No, that's a great tip.
Yeah, it has to start from the inside. I always believe you begin with yourself and then go out.
Begin with the end. Ooh, see how I did that, boy? Begin with the end, like internal. Begin with the end.
Because most issues, if we are going to be really honest with ourselves, most issues that we have are within ourselves.
Of course. Yeah.
It's how did I perceive this, or how did I perceive that? And the question, if it's something offends me, I need to stop. I mean, the last thing I should do, that's what I believe, is go to you and listen, this offended me. No, I need to find out, hold it, that triggers something. So what did that trigger? So it may take half an hour to figure out. It may take 2 weeks to figure it out. But
it might never get figured out. It might never be figured out.
Yep. So, and then you can go to the tribe. I think that's, I do a lot of internal seeking, you know.
Sounds like Britney does the same. Sounds like both of y'all, they have the same. I'm working on being more intentional and internalizing more, because it is, you can't control anything but the way you respond to stuff. So that begin with that end, there's something to that, because there's even an end in the word begin. Begin with the end.
Mm-hmm.
It ends with begin. It ends the way it should begin. End. Anyway, I'm being all extra. Britney, what is one tip for calibrating your life by focusing on your tribe?
I have no idea what this question means. I feel like you guys need to have it like, am I smarter than a fifth grader type of questions? Okay. So I'm going to answer this just based on thinking about my tribe as the people that, or the women that I serve and am super passionate about in my business. And one of the things that I really believe is that I had to live in the truth of what I'm saying that I help people do. So I like to call it like living in my own breakthrough. And focusing on my tribe is literally me thinking about all the ways, like, what is this woman thinking? What is this woman feeling? Like, she's really challenged with right now? And how can I show up and serve her and say it in a different way, if possible, or 1,000 different ways, if possible, or if needed, in order for her to get exactly what she needed. And I guess that started with me. Like, I call myself client zero, because
I love that.
I help women clear their clutter and take up space. Most people don't know this. I started off as the CPA and in finance, and now I'm an interior designer and life coach. And that was just because I went through just so many different hardships, from micro, not so micro biases and all the things, and just really feeling inadequate, or being made to feel inadequate in certain environments. And so helping people to break out of that and take up what they really need to create the lives they want, that's my thing. So that's what I focus on, always calibrating at that point.
I love these tips. All of these are working on the same thing about the internal, like beginning with me. That's my tip. Begin with you. Figure out who you really are, or what kind of things you really want to do, be, and have in your life, and just start there, because you're no good to your tribe nor to yourself if you don't really know who you are. And we think we know who we are sometimes, but we really don't. So take the time to find out who you are. Create a list of who you want to be, characteristics, what kind of things do you want to do, and what kind of things do you want to have, and start from there. Take action steps each day to get you closer to being, doing, and having the kind of things you want. That's my tip for calibrating your tribe, because you're no good to your tribe until you know who you really are.
Yeah.
So that's my tip. I believe we are ready for announcements. Britney, starting with you. What's going on with you in your life? What do you want to share with the audience?
So, all the good things are going on in my life. So good. All I have to say, I really believe that. I am literally living exactly how I never imagined, where everything seems super aligned and I know exactly who I am and I know exactly what I want to do. And I get that feedback from everyone else in the world. So I help women, like I said, clear their clutter and take up space to create a life that blows their mind. And if you're ready to step into that and create your own mind-blowing life, then you can book a space activation session with me. The link should be right there down below.
Good job. You pointed right at it too.
Yes.
Good job. Thank you, Brittany. What about you, Marisol? What's going on in your world?
Well, I am a realtor in the Orlando area, and I've been an agent now for 19 years. And it was a long way to get where I'm at. But actually, what I've been focusing on lately is into bringing awareness to the Hispanic community and teaching other agents and other franchises how to handle and how to communicate with the Hispanic community. So whether you are someone that wants, to buy or sell a house in the Central Florida area, or you are someone that would like to know how to tap into the Hispanic market, just schedule a call down there.
Yes, both of y'all pointed to y'all's links right on time, right on y'all like pointed right at it perfectly. Oh, I love that. I know some people I'm gonna introduce you to, both of you. And for myself, I am the Joy Ignitor, be yourself everyday creator and founder, and I will be kicking off my comedic journey with my girlfriend / business coach / best woman I know ever, Miss Monica Henderson. We're doing a Back to the Basics comedic adventure on August 18th, virtual and live in LA, Los Angeles, California. You are officially invited. Stay tuned for more information. Until then, check out that website, beyourselfeveryday.com, to find out more.
All right. Well, it is time for our community announcements, as Mingle Online Community always has something going on. But before we dive into what's happening in your community, I wanted to let you know, if you enjoyed this conversation today and you want to be on the show, guess what? We'd love to have you to be right here on the screen. It's www.minklifemotivation.com/live will get you to become a co-host right here on the screen. And if you are enjoying the conversation and you want to keep it rolling with you even on the go, well, guess what? We have all the places that you can get this podcast so you can listen on the go. That's right. You can go to Spotify, look up Mink Life Motivation Live, and subscribe to that channel so you can get live episodes every single week. But last but not least, tomorrow, and I mean tomorrow, we are going to help you figure out what's next for your life. That's right. June 30th at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, we will be coming together to help you understand your self-care, your romantic partnership, your lifestyle, your career, your nurturing, and your tribe. And this is not just any kind of a conference. This is a conference where you are actively engaged in building your life right then and there. There's no homework to do afterwards because you're going to do the work while you're doing it. So go to www.minklifeuniversity.com/life calibrator to get your tickets to the show. Back to you, Yo.
Take me to the screen. Thank you so much for joining us, Britney and Marisol. Fue un placer con ustedes. And then everybody on the couch, thanks for joining us on the couch. Tune in again for next week's show, and we'll see you again.
Bye.